Another triple issue podcast here on Nerd and Beyond. I'm here. Well, first we have a special guest. So, do you want to introduce yourself?
I am Mr. Blue. I mostly share memes on social media and reviews, techno geek reviews on YouTube.
Go check him out. I'll leave a link to his channel down below. Ren, you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Ren, the main founder of this. Fandom here is our editor and all that, and our comic relief, because we all need those.
And Spider-Man 3, or him getting a limited series, or they gave us three options. It was his own solo movie, him being introduced in Spider-Man 3, or him forgot the laptop. Oh, limited series
On Disney
now.
Plus.
Yep. Now everybody's freaking out because they think Spider-Man the Spider-Man Far From Home and Homecoming Spider-Man doesn't exactly fit the tone of Deadpool's more rated R and gritty humor. So yeah, Ren, you want to take it away from here?
Alright, so everyone is making jokes about this on Twitter of Deadpool being in Spider-Man 3. Mostly a lot of people in the yaoi fandom are making these weird ships between them, which I don't blame them because they have that bromance in the Deadpool Spider-Man comic. Is that still running, or did it finally ended?
I have a couple issues of that run, but I haven't read them yet. But
It's in its last arc.
Oh, they're in the last arc? Okay.
Yeah.
But overall, Deadpool is... I mean, yeah, it could possibly work out, but the problem is they're gonna have to limit him down. Like, his fourth wall jokes, they're gonna have to be cut off or to fit Spider-Man 3, depending how Far From Home ends and what hints still lead to us for the third movie.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, it's just... To change a rated R character that originally was a PG-13 character in the Fox universe with, origins. We don't talk about that too much.
That one was bad.
Yeah, and I don't see it happening because Peter is technically still a teenager, and maybe he's going to be graduating from high school in the third final film of his appearance. Maybe we don't know if Tom Holland's contract has been extended for maybe 6 total movies. 3 more after this one. Homecoming arc.
I think in order for it to work, they would have to do like what they do with the Hulk in the Avengers movie, where they kind of stripped a portion of the character to introduce him into the movie. Well, the third film. Like, Hulk is really powerful in his own solo film, but in the Avengers movies, he's depowered.
Yeah, he's not as powerful, so he can let the other heroes shine.
Yeah, and if they do that to Deadpool, fans will complain. Fans will attack Marvel on Twitter. I mean, you're already seeing how they are. What happened to Brie Larson stuff?
I wouldn't put it above them because they have done that with other characters. They've done that with the Mandarin in Iron Man 3, which is not my favorite Marvel movie. I've roasted down my own. It's still a good movie. It's just the twist it ruins it, but I can understand why they did the twist because of stereotypes at the time.
Yeah. My one problem is that the MCU Spider-Man is not made to cater toward Deadpool. And even any other rendition of Spider-Man is not catered toward Deadpool. And I feel like people think, oh, well, they look alike and they have the same costume and they have the thing. The thing is that relationship that he had with him in the comic was build up. And I know they're saying, well, they can build it up in a movie. No. It was built up in a Deadpool comic, though.
I can't agree with you, though, because the MCU version of Spider-Man, compared to the previous iterations that Sony did, is more family friendly, and he looks up to the Iron Man character a little too much. Well,
when you see him, you're gonna see he's too wild and out there. Like, it's like with Ultimate Spider-Man in the cartoon. When he first saw Deadpool lied about a lot of things. Then when Deadpool finally found out, yeah, I'm an assassin, I do this for money, he didn't look up to Deadpool. He thought he was crazy. He was like, I don't want to mess with that. He's not sane.
Well, the thing about Deadpool is he's more of an anti-hero. He tends to be, well, we all know Deadpool. He he tends to be the character that a lot of heroes like push to the side. Even Spider-Man. Spider-Man jokes a lot, but I think the sense of humor of both characters are different. But that's where the levity in the comics comes from. But it's hard when they're doing it with the cert. I could see Marvel doing it. I could see Marvel not doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like, will it work? Like, execution is the best thing, and when we look at it, like, I hate to put this example, Spider-Man we have Disney Channel Spider-Man. Think of it, he's younger. They have a diverse cast of characters. They all kind of act like a mature Disney movie. That's like a PG-13 Disney movie, and that's all I really got to tell them because, dude, you got Disney stars in the movie. They don't let him go as far as he should be able to go in strength and fighting, and their main thing is to teach a lesson at the end of the day. And it's like when you go to Deadpool, it's like R-rated, and it works for him. Now, if they introduced him like he likes Spider-Man in a Deadpool movie, that could. Now, I did say I was like, if they ever do Spider-Man and Deadpool, do it in an animated series, but make it like an adult series, like I don't know, something that will come on Adult Swim.
I think he would. I think the character would work brilliantly as a cartoon. They almost did have Donald Glover from Atlanta. I watched the first episode on iTunes. It's a very good TV show. But I heard it got canceled. It would have been. I think it would have worked on Adult Swim.
Fox said that Donald Glover didn't have time to work on Deadpool, but Donald Glover came out with a statement saying he had plenty of time to work on Deadpool. He had plenty of time to work on the script. Which is why I said if they do introduce them in a series together, make it be a Disney Plus MTVMA Deadpool Spider-Man series exclusively on Disney Plus. But then again, they can't do a TVMA because they said they're not trying to go for super mature on Disney Plus, which I understand. When you have the name Disney attached to you, you really have to be careful with certain moves.
Disney likes being family friendly. They like family friendly. They're able to make more money on the bank with all of the movies because anybody could go. It's why the Deadpool characters more, but that's also why I'm terrible at debating. The Deadpool movies made big bank at the time because they were R-rated movie and they worked with the R rating to make more money. But not all R-rated movies tend to have that much success. Most R-rated movies tend to get lower at the bank.
Because it's like you're limiting the audience. And I can't say that Disney has never made an R-rated. They were the people who made the original Scream movie and a couple of others, including Pretty Woman and all that. Their studio is attached to that.
Pulp Fiction's a good movie. Samuel L. Jackson is most badass. No, it's not Marvel DC, but it's a good movie. So it's a bit off topic.
Now, I think Deadpool is better off doing a cameo.
Cameo would be good. I wanted him to have a cameo in Endgame, but they didn't do the cameo I wanted. Well,
He was originally supposed to, but they canceled it because they weren't allowed to touch him yet.
They still had to do the contracts with the companies.
Yeah, they still have to do the contract stuff and all that. And people think all the rumor in summer is about the X-Men movies. Maybe not. What they're gonna do, but they're better off introducing Deadpool first, since he is the only character from the Fox Marvel universe that's not being changed.
Yeah.
We were lucky to have Spider-Man introduced, though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, do it like that. They could do it that way. Do the Spider-Man thing like they did in Civil War. He's already existing. He can be introduced in Spider-Man 3, but not like full scenes. You know, have limited scenes with him. Not make it a whole Deadpool 2.5.
My whole theory on it is with like what happened in Endgame. I still haven't reviewed that, but mixed with the trailers I've seen from Far From Home, my theory is gonna be what they did with the snap. I don't want to spoil, but the after effects of it could bring alternate universes, and from that, like a merger of the Fox X-Men universe. But then again, they're also planning to change the X-Men at some point later on in the timeline.
Honestly, I think that would have made more sense to introduce him in the X-Men, and not just that, or introduce him in a New Mutants sequel. Despite us not feeling like we're getting the New Mutants, which I honestly don't think we are, or we're getting it only on Hulu.
I'm not excited for that movie. That one I'm not. Obviously, I'm excited for Far From Home, but the non-Marvel movie I'm excited is Joker. Joker looks good as more like a psychological thriller, like Taxi Driver.
Yeah. I felt like X-Men would have been a better time to introduce him. But then again, it's like they're really trying. I understand they're trying to push him as fast as possible. They're trying to push all these characters as fast as possible. But you guys have to they have to really limit it or think smart on this.
Oh yeah.
Cause this one I was like this. I'm like, I'm not about this, Chief. That's not it, Chief. Cause it's like you're pushing it too fast.
If they put him in the Spider-Man movies, they'll probably, just like the Spider-Man animated series, well, not the 90s one, the recent ones, the animated series, I think they'll probably introduce Deadpool to a younger audience. That might backfire because his movies aren't really for a younger audience. So it's a double-edged sword with introducing him in the third film from Far From Home.
That's true, because even in his animated appearance in Ultimate Spider-Man, and they couldn't even say kill. He had to say, "I unalive people." And then when he finally said, then when Peter put two and two together, like, "Unalive? You mean you kill people?" And then he went.
On the MCU, the only swear words they gave to that I've noticed so far is Nick Fury. Well, he deserves it because he's the most OP character that has no superpowers in the MCU.
And Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
In Infinity War, he got the F-bomb at the end, and they stopped before he said the swear word. And in the Far From Home trailer, he said he's been to space. And, he said, "You've been in space." When he says, "I'm just a friendly neighborhood spider."
And then he said, "Bitch, you've been to space." I was like, "Oh, that's a swear word. You just said a swear."
That's as loose as Marvel gets with swear words. The only darkest I've remember any Marvel movie ever getting was the early phase of the MCU. The first two Marvel movies were dark, and then they got really bright after.
That's true. Even in Iron Man, we got a full-on sex scene.
Plus,
Iron Man.
Winter Soldier was like the first one to be more violent compared to the other movies they had.
That one was like a spy thriller, like a porn film.
I love Winter Soldier.
For me, it's Civil War.
A lot of people are like, thinking, "Oh, it'll work out," and they're like, they're not thinking outside of the box of it, to where it's Deadpool. You're gonna have an adult character with a teenager interacting.
I mean, if they want to, unless they want to use the character to bring X-Men into the MCU, but also it's probably gonna be later on down the line because we're still only getting Far From Home in a few months. Well, when I'm going to Comic-Con in July.
Yeah, in July, so like in 2 months actually.
Well, pretty much this month is already getting near ending, so just say 1 month.
Yeah, so basically a month.
That's why my profile picture is the Spider-Man suit. Don't worry, I don't dress like that on a regular day. It's for Comic-Con. I wear regular clothes.
I mean, when is Spider-Man 3 supposed to come out? Like 4 years from now?
Well, what?
Didn't they announce when Spider-Man 3 is supposed to come out?
That list that future MCU, it's real or not, and I don't think it's real.
I heard they want to bring in Shang-Chi. I can't pronounce that probably without sounding like a terrible white person. Shang-Chi It's like Iron Fist.
Yeah, I think they're doing it in forgot what
Next-
fucking movie.
It's next year. They're gonna release it next year apparently, and have the Mandarin on there, which people are actually making a big deal about. When they
Well, 'cause-
had an Iron Man fill in on Ant-Man and Wasp.
Wait, I mean, obviously you can tell they're not going for how do I put it, comic accuracy, because it's like they're giving other villains other heroes, but sometimes it works better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, not everybody know who Shang-Chi is, and some people like the Mandarin twist on Iron Man 3. I didn't. That was terrible, but it is what it is. And then on something King, that little short with Ben Kingsley, who that was the actor who acted like the Mandarin, said that there is a real one.
We still need like a resolution to that cliffhanger in the MCU. Well,
It's just like, yeah. It's like when it comes to the Mandarin twist, I wasn't really mad, because at the end of the day, the Mandarin has not been an interesting character to begin with. We haven't seen this man in the comics since like 2004.
he was a stereotype in the comics, which is why I understand why they made the change, but they did the way they made the change in the trailers from how he was gonna appear in the movie made him more OP. But then he was kind of just a gag at the end of the movie, like just a joke kind of thing.
Yeah.
Though, if you want to see a really good Mandarin, I've been watching Iron Man Armored Adventures. I highly recommend that Mandarin. That one, very.
Yeah, I've
cool.
seen that one. That one is really cool.
Yeah, I wish they made another season for it.
I'm
I
still
feel
on
like it
season
ended out
1.
perfect, but I'm not gonna spoil it for you then. But yeah, there's not. When it comes to like with Deadpool, he's a hard character to get in there. I feel like a solo film or just like a limited series works for him.
I think that's why they did the Once Upon a Deadpool, though. Like they took. Oh, sorry, I have a dog. It's like.
Because they want to see how he worked in PG-13 light, and it worked. But I feel like it was like a way for them to say,
Sorry about that.
It's cool.
But I think that's why they did the Once Upon a Deadpool movie to test it out if he would work PG. The movie's alright, but it's like opening a bag of chips and then opening another bag of chips. You already have a bag of chips. It felt like double dipping, but it was just the same movie.
It's just more censored stuff and all that. They pretty much make it like a TV version. Well, it'd be like on TV, cutting out
Some of the jokes were good.
Yeah.
The Nickelback jokes were hilarious for me. Other than that, it was just the same movie.
I think it is just the same movie, they just censored it.
Yeah.
Because, there's... How do I put it? When it comes to Deadpool, he just works better alone, and then when other characters like the X-Men are introduced, then it makes sense why he'll meet Spider-Man, why he'll meet all these different people.
No matter what change they're gonna do to him, he'll never be as bad as X-Men Original Wolverine Deadpool.
I don't know how you can top that. That is
True story, I actually used to like it back in 2008 for the Wolverine character. But
that was the only reason I like it.
But when I read more Deadpool comics, I hated the character, not the movie, more as time went by.
It's like the movie's more of a guilty pleasure. It's when they get to the Deadpool part, I'm just like, oh, you're doing okay.
Did they add the
Like,
did they
Spider-Man's-
add the Cyclops laser beams on one of the Ultimate Alliance games?
Oh boy, we don't talk about that one. You're doing it. You tried. It's like, I'm sorry. I just want to see Deadpool in a cartoon. Heck, introduce him in a What If cartoon. Make him like being the guy who's reading the books about what's going on.
I find his sense of humor is very similar to the Rick and Morty animated series, and the cartoon series. Like it's a similar sense of humor.
I could see that. A Rick and Morty esque Deadpool series
Yeah.
possibly could work. But
Like Deadpool is very anti the superhero genre while being the superhero genre at the same time. I find
it's like with Spider-Man, you can't do that though. It's like
Spider-Man's very much deep in the superhero. Like it doesn't.
Yeah.
Spider-Man doesn't tend to make fun of the superhero genre. I think
Spider-Man is the never give up kind of person.
Well, the character has always been like an analysis of responsibility and the failures of always trying to be responsible, and the backfiring of it. With even you could take even the bad films, the Amazing Spider-Man films, which my guilty pleasure. Yes, I've dressed up like that one too. And it shows like the character being responsible always backfires for the character. But it's not the same thing as Deadpool, because Deadpool knows he's in a movie universe or a TV universe or cartoon. Peter Parker doesn't know that.
It's not just that, but he would still do the responsible thing because it's just how he was raised. It's nature versus nurture on that, and it's like you can't give that message out because it's like you're gonna have two conflicting messages if you introduce him in or if you try to make him a guest character, because it's like, okay, well, you know, Deadpool's gonna teach him something. Deadpool's gonna ruin his movie. That's what he's gonna do.
It's just fans
He's gonna be
expect
sitting there.
fans expect that just because it works in the comics, it work on the big screen. It will not work on the big screen the same way as the comics.
Homecoming made a big deal on he doesn't kill. Technically Endgame he did. What aliens?
Aliens don't count. They don't have lives.
Homecoming made a huge deal out of he doesn't use the kill thing in his Spidey suit, so it would collide a lot with his moral view with Deadpool's, because Deadpool will kill depending the moral reason.
Also, a really big thing I forgot to bring up: people want the Deadpool Spider-Man comic, but you gotta remember, Deadpool only wanted to be a hero after seeing so much of like the benefits of it, and he didn't see it like, oh, money or anything. He saw that it made you a clearer person, but that was years and years of development. There will probably be only those 2 movies where he killed and got away with it and was okay. There's no repercussions for him killing in the MCU yet.
Well, there's no equal to him yet in the MCU, and the equal.
Oh, equal. It was like when he killed people in the comics. When he got up to that point, the only reason he stopped killing was because he had Ellie, his daughter. He was like, I can't do this and bring that to her. So he went up to Spider-Man and like, how do I do it? How do I be you? Spider-Man, I can't teach you that, but I can teach you how to be a better person, and that's how that works.
Plus, Fox
kind of
ruined that too, because was it Vanessa pregnant in the second movie?
No, they were trying to get.
They wanted him to like not stay with Vanessa, but then they rewrote the script to where I remember them. I watched the movie. I just forgot for a sec. Okay, now I'm being autistic. I apologize.
Go take your time.
What happened? I have it on. I literally have the movie on my phone. I'm being such a dumbass right now. I apologize.
But yeah, like essentially, it's like that's the reason why he stopped killing. It's like you didn't give him a daughter, you didn't give him any reason or motivation. It was like the reason why he had a family. Like he had a shield agent that actually cared about him, and that was more like a subterfuge. He was married to a succubus, but that didn't go very well for him. He had a daughter, and that was the main reason. Like, yeah, I need to kind of slow down. He was like, because one of my enemies can easily get a hold of her and kill her because I messed with the wrong person. because I fucked up. Like that's what he was saying essentially. That if I fuck up, she could get hurt.
I've read some of the Marvel Now 2013 run, but I haven't read Need into the character Deadpool.
Like you kind of got to go through like years of it, but that's because I was like, I would read like years of it, and then I would read like, I'd go back and read the older stuff to get a better grasp on him.
When it comes
to Batman and Nightwing.
When it comes to the character I'm dressed as on the photo, I've read all over the place though with that one because I have single issues and trades. So I've read present day, I've 90s, and I've read 60s.
Yeah, me too. Spider-Man, like, I've read every iteration. And I'm like, yeah. The only reason it works in the 616 is because they've known each other for a while.
Disney has a brand they have to hold on to, so it's gonna be. And with the director has. Ryan Reynolds likes to have his Deadpool films a certain tone, and the director of the Spider-Man films, his name be missing at the moment, has a very drastically different tone.
You know what that Deadpool's gonna end up being if he's in Spider-Man? Once you got that, what's he gonna be?
He's gonna end up making Breakfast Club jokes the whole time.
Yep. But know what else is gonna be? Come on, guys. We're gonna have Detective Pikachu in human form, and it's gonna be everybody who wanted this is fault.
Oh, I'm excited for Detective Pikachu, but it's basically just Deadpool and a Pokemon.
Exactly.
I still haven't seen it yet. I'm going to see if my friend in a week or two. Well, not in 2 weeks.
Plus, if Deadpool goes, this is gonna ruin the fact that Spider-Man is supposed to be the new face of MCU, like Iron Man was.
Deadpool will overshadow Spider-Man.
Yeah.
There was a lot of complaints of Spider-Man Homecoming with that film too. That people made complaints that Iron Man took over the whole film with it. But I didn't really see it. It was more like he was
there, but he was
You're just trying to be a mentor. It's just the one thing I hate about Homecoming though is just that they made it kind of like he's trying to be like him.
I saw it as like the character Lost in a smaller tier way compared to the other iteration of Homecoming because he's still young. Like, if you look at Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man film, he lost in a major way, and that's his own fault. He got like a symbiote.
Yeah.
Andrew lost someone, and then the MCU one had a building drop on it. And then the girl he was trying to date, he just kept ignoring her, and then she moved. It was sad, but it wasn't as sad as other iterations of the character.
I think like people get tired of seeing the same thing remembered. Cause like if we keep saying Uncle Ben died, we're gonna just be like.
Oh, I've had debates with other Spidey fans on Twitter about the Uncle Ben debacle. I'm like, you know, everyone that's saying, oh, I want Uncle Ben in MCU are the same people. If they put Uncle Ben in MCU, they'd probably complain that he's over, like they're using him too much.
And it's essentially because it's like they're gonna be like, oh, Ben, and people say, oh well, Tony Stark is his next Uncle Ben. Well, yeah, it makes sense. You lost your uncle and a mentor figure, and there are hints there wasn't Uncle Ben, because even in Spider-Man Homecoming, he was like, I can't do this to her again. When he was talking about whether I should keep doing this or not, I'm like, it makes sense because he's scared. He's a scared kid, and people forget that. He's not. Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, as much as people like those movies, are not comic accurate.
No.
They are far from it.
They're adults.
Yeah, they're kind of psychological take on them with mixed realism with it. Especially when they start doing the organic web, and then we find out they did that in the comics too, in a way.
I find.
Wait, say what you're gonna say. My bad. I don't mean to interrupt you.
I find all three iterations focus on different runs of the character,
but they don't get the like comic accurate. Now, I'm not gonna say Tom Holland's comic accurate, not 616 accurate, because 616 accurate. We go back to the 60s, knew how to And like, I don't mean like he was out doing karate moves or anything, but he knew how to adapt to the situation and fight. And the thing is, that's what made villains scared of him. He was unpredictable. You weren't gonna like see him like kick you. No, he might jump at you and then start whacking you. But no, this version is Peter, because I've been reading this since I was 6. This version of Peter represents the ultimate aspect, because every time something goes wrong, Peter was a hormonal and mean teenager. He was how we all were when we were kids. Let's face it, Ren, and I'm gonna ask you only because you're like older. When you were when you were a teenager, you often got angry or hormonal, or like you get sad and didn't know how to deal with situations.
Yep.
Peter, when he didn't know how to deal with getting the suit taken away, he kind of had a moment of, I'm like, fuck everything. I'm not about to deal with this. I'm about to go fix my life.
We even saw that we saw a little bit of that hinted in the Far From Home trailer. When the cops talked to him, he gave them like a little bit of like the savage Spidey we see sometimes in the comics.
Well, not just being snarky. Everyone's snarky. Everyone's a little bit of an ass.
He's like, I'm doing them jobs.
He was like, gonna be the next Iron Man? Well, I'm busy doing your job.
The second trailer is better than the first.
Yeah. But it's like, it's just how it's done. And I feel like Endgame really did set up Peter, and I feel like introducing Deadpool is a bad idea at the moment.
I'll be fully honest, after Endgame, I don't know if I care about any Avengers movie after that, because Endgame was so... It's like Logan, where it hit me on an emotional level that I don't know if I'll like another Avengers movie after.
Ren said the same thing.
Yeah, it's just... In honesty, like, you know, I feel like they should take a break on comic movies after Far From Home, but they need that money rolling in since now they have a streaming service with a lot of
like,
shows.
I'm okay with watching a series, but
yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna sit there and watch a whole ass movie anymore. I think I'm just gonna buy it and just be like, oh. I mean, it's like Endgame and Far From Home, I'm done. Like, because I feel like Far From Home after to introduce the multiverse and let the X-Men get announced pretty damn soon in the MCU. I think I'm cool. Even with Dark Phoenix, I'm just gonna watch that when it comes on DVD because shit, that looks bad. That looks bad.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just
X-Men just doesn't want to die in Fox. It just doesn't want to stop.
Yet they died in the comics by relaunching them every single year.
Well, that's because Marvel's petty.
Yeah.
When Fox owned the rights, they were like, "Oh no, we can't have them like be in our universe when they're not in our Marvel Cinematic Movie universe." So they killed them in the X.
Yeah, they did murder Cyclops, and then they sent all the X-Men to like a pocket dimension. Be like, just in case Fox want to get their act together, we're gonna put them right here. Then the Fantastic Four went missing.
Oh yeah, Fantastic Four. You remember that Punisher issue where he killed the actors? Oh, the Fat Four stick.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious.
That shows you Marvel's like, we don't want this. Look what you did. You did this to yourselves.
They're like, see this? This is what happens when you don't do what we ask. You fuck up whole movie universe. That's a damn shame, though.
How can they not get Fantastic Four good? It's just a family movie. It's just simple. It's like The Incredibles.
Legit, how can you not remake The Incredibles?
But live.
All we're asking is for live action of The Incredibles.
Incredibles in space.
That's why I think, you know, if they're gonna do Fantastic Four, it should have Johnny Storm being one of Peter's friends in college.
Make him be his college roommate.
Yeah,
like how he was.
We actually had this podcast before too about, you know, how the Fantastic Four would fit in the Spider-Man universe and have Deadpool appear somewhere else. The X-Men, some of them appear Doctor Strange or whatever. Just
I've read the 1960s run. The Human Torch appears sometimes in the 1960s run, the first 10 issues. So I do agree with you there. It would be a great way to introduce the Fantastic Four.
It's like the relationship between Spider-Man and Fantastic Four, and even the X-Men make more sense than doing it with Deadpool.
Kitty
because
Pryde having a crush on him too.
And he's
Ultimate.
going, they going.
Well,
Oh no,
Peter's
they
a
have a
pimp
crush.
in the
They
comic.
dated. They full out dated.
See, that's what we need. They want to introduce mutants, introduce them in one of the Spider-Man movies.
No, don't bring in Kitty Pryde. They're gonna back.
I want her to fight MJ. Damn it.
They're gonna be black. You gotta remember, Spider-Man only like black girls now.
Then bring in an Asian girl. There you go. It's a white man's favorite race.
Oh, bro. They should bring in the
Jubilee.
Yes, Jubilee would
He's
be
gonna
perfect.
be out here dating Jubilee. Y'all giving him a spider harem. First it was Captain Marvel. Now look what you've done.
Well, she's technically almost the same age as him if you think about it. She was the youngest X-Men they had.
Bro, first Peter out here pulling 30-year-olds, then he's pulling black women. What's going on now?
He's a pimp. He's a spider pimp.
I knew it. Mr. Blue nailed it right on the head.
Oh, bro, a lady on one of my Facebook posts is like, why would a lady want to go like Spider-Man? Batman's rich, Superman's strong. What does Spider-Man? I'm like, yo, he's got that broke big dick, spider dick.
See, that's why they need to introduce Deadpool. Have it out of nowhere here. Let me teach you something I learned from your movie. You just put your hand on her shoulder and you hey.
Yes.
But keep your mask on. You might be idiot. Just have Deadpool parody that shit, and I think I'll be okay with it.
Deadpool would do that.
Let me look at, come here, young Holland. Look at her. Look at her deep in the eyes. Then you start playing Careless Whisper by George Michael. Then you tell her, hey. Jesus Christ.
Oh, the first Deadpool movie was The Lightning in a Bottle.
That movie was
and the funny thing is, though, if they do that, they're gonna have her like, tell me I got a date. He's gonna do that little finger in the hole thing to him. Like he did with Vanessa when he got shot in the head.
I feel like there's like a Spider-Man 4 then do it and have it in his college years and like out of nowhere Deadpool just that not even his roommate, he just that guy that broke into a dorm just to do that. He's like, you gotta remember, when she not put the finger in the hole.
And give her like a bag of stuff, like here's some lubricant and some condoms, my friend. We don't want no baby Spideys coming along.
Mind you, I can imagine, technically they can make that joke since they did make a porn joke in Homecoming.
Yeah, they did. What? See, Spider-Man 4, if like Deadpool's already introduced, just have him break into his dorm. I think I'd be okay with that.
I like the, to be honest, I like the character to be in MCU like the way Stanley was in MCU. Well, when he was here. Like,
Yeah.
like kind of the cameo MCU.
I can
Like
see that.
Like in the Lego game, but with MCU.
You should make an ass joke. Well, Spider-Man.
Oh, the Sermon's
Like-
got me sick.
Like, hey, you supposed to see, I seen Captain Marvel's ass. You have the ass.
He comes up, makes a Pokemon joke. Now listen here. I don't know if you've ever heard this song, but I need you to catch it. There you go. You just see, they can just make him the cameo guy, and I think it works so much better than him being an actual.
Cameo would work best for the character.
Yeah,
And they
have,
could
like,
still introduce him in the film.
and have him like Deadpool 3, reminisce about, who he met. Because, I met this teenager who could walk car up and climb on walls, but was pretty bad at talking to girls.
Oh, that's relatable.
Or just have him be like, yeah, I miss the old Fox days. But I have new friends now.
Exactly, like he did in freaking Deadpool 2, how he was just laying on the freaking tubs of gasoline.
Make the fucking DC joke. Oh my god, you're so dark. You work for DC? Oh yeah, they're trying to fix their image. I probably shouldn't have said that.
Oh, DC's been getting better with their film.
Yeah, I know. I saw Shazam.
Yeah, Shazam, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman are the only good movies we have.
I've seen Aquaman, I've seen Wonder Woman, but I haven't seen Shazam.
Great movie. Great movie.
But yeah, we got anything to end this?
I think I'm.
I might.
Okay, then I guess we'll end this podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining us to another Triple Issue podcast. I'd like to thank our guest, Mr. B, for coming out. And I'd also like to thank everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, this has been another Nerd and Beyond podcast. I'll see you guys next time.